You gotta warn me when that thing's on.
I just turned it on.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
That's I may have been a little gentler.
Anyway.
Well, like when we were talking about the land of life.
Yeah. That's pretty gentle.
No, you didn't hear what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Just turned it on.
Put this in here about the lawsuit. Have we received notice that we're over money?
Just wanted you to be aware of what, I actually have it on the agenda, but
That's when I was wondering what it was about, I guess. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Perry, second by Bill, to approve the minutes and agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Who's that for?
Scott here.
I think so.
Good morning.
Dave Peterson signed it, so must be good enough then.
Buffalo Township.
Uh-oh. No, I don't see a name on it.
Applicant.
Oh,
Are you shooting off fireworks?
Yeah,
where are you shooting those off at?
over at Buffalo, my brother's place.
Oh, out there. Okay, yeah. Okay, there now. Do you think that this is a good risk?
I don't have a clue.
I mean, are these guys pyromaniacs or?
They're not pyromaniacs to my knowledge,
Oh.
but whether it's a good risk or not.
Do you have any experience in firefighting?
We have some.
Yes, yes.
Figured so.
Well, I don't know.
We've done it for years, we thought we'd better get prevented.
Yeah, let's make it.
What class are you doing?
What's
What
that?
class of fireworks are you doing?
I, to be honest, don't know.
Did you buy them just,
Yeah, just local.
you don't need a permit then?
Well, you do if it's out of season.
Yeah, you have a 2-week
Yeah, it's over now.
over the 4th. Yeah, 2-week opportunity to do whatever you want. So that's the good stuff.
I don't think that'll stop me.
Yeah.
As hasn't in the past.
Yeah, in fact, about 5 years ago, I was doing the mortars you can buy,
Yeah. Class D.
and I was doing it off my Ranger, I put a mortar in backwards,
Whoops.
blew a hole right through my head gate.
Well, I think the person that got killed in Iowa, was it over, was it Waverly?
Yeah.
There was a head injury. My guess is that a mortar tipped over and
Could be.
shot him like a cannon, I suppose.
Well,
I hesitate to make this motion, but I'll make the motion to approve the fireworks application for David C. Peterson.
I'll second it.
motion by Bill, second by Terry to approve the fireworks permit for David Peterson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Morning.
Go through a couple quick financials from the end of the fiscal year. Just the quick numbers. At the end of June, at the end of the fiscal year, we were able to keep our budget to just around 90%. So a really positive note to take from last year, and a tribute to the Mark and the staff doing a great job taking care of things within the budget this year. So that's really strong. The other number to note, we have a little over $1 million in our auditor's balance at the end of the year, so that's also strong, and hopefully that helps us operate a little bit more freely and more carefree for the period of time between when taxes come in.
Refresh my memory on your full budget. How much is it?
Can't tell you that number off the top of my head.
That's a pretty good ending balance. 3.9? Something like that.
I wanted to say it's around 4 or 5. Something.
It depends on the year too, because as you know, some of our projects have pass-through money, and we have over $3 million in general operating income from taxes and road use tax, so that's kind of the base, and then all the pass-through money would be on top of that. But
so you're well over the recommended percentage. Good.
We have a bid letting out at the DOT today for 2 bridge projects, hoping to get some strong bids on that. And we'll know shortly, should know by the next meeting what that looks like, but I'm working with Mike on trying to get electronic signatures available for signing that contract. The DOT is working through kind of an experimental process of trying to electronically sign all the contracts rather than send them back and forth from the contractor to the DOT to the county. It does take a lot of time, and so hopefully this will cut a couple weeks off of it. But in the meantime, we gotta sign up for some accounts and do some digital signature work, which takes a little bit of work on the front end, but once it's done, then it should be pretty easy. So hopefully we know more about that in a next couple weeks. That's about all I got.
On YouTube. Cindy, I gotta look it up. So yes.
Did you talk to a Wally Hire?
I have.
And as far as his ditch goes, is that something you're putting in?
Sounds to me like the ditch and intake are okay, but his field's a little bit lower, so he wanted to.
Well, no, according to what he told me is that the water used to run down the ditch to the intake, and now it does not.
I got a little bit different message, but anyway, I sent him a work in the right of
Not
way.
not all the water. I mean, it would probably be best if he was to put an intake out in the middle of the field. That would help in the low spot, wherever the tile. The tile might run a little east in this low spot.
I did send him a work in the right of way permit in the mail, and he was going to work on that and get it back to me. So that's where I left it with him.
There's a fee for those.
So there's a $25 fee that's been on those permits for a number of years. If it's a type of work that beneficial to both parties, I often waive the fee.
It's kind of eerily similar to the one that we've already had. I just don't want it to get to the point where, you know, the secondary road's not cleaning a ditch is gonna upset people, I guess. I mean, he told me, and maybe he told you something different, I can talk to him again, but he just told me that the water used to run down the ditch to that intake, and not all of it, I mean, but a good share of it would, and now it doesn't do that, so. Something to keep in mind anyway. I mean, it's one of those things that you gotta, you know, some of these little things you gotta have in a little bit of a chronological order, not just wait till you get involved, and I mean, that doesn't seem like it ever happens, so.
Sure. At this point, our conversation has been cordial. I mean, he hasn't asked us
I would
to
imagine
do
that
that.
the other one was cordial at first too.
Wally and I are good friends as well. So.
I used to play basketball with him all the time.
200th Avenue from 430th south and north. That's level B, but it's in horrible shape.
200th Avenue, north and south of
430th. Especially north, there's craters in the road. And I didn't have time to go up to it. It's up by Darren East Bowl, up in Eden.
the different is the different one.
480,
A different one. Is that
480th?
talk to you too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, actually,
Yeah.
he didn't personally talk to me. My nephew Sam talked to them, and Sam tried to drive down, and he said he needed his pickup.
okay. So that would be north of 490th on, that'd be 70th Avenue, right?
Yeah, see, now, I understood it as being 480th on the east-west, as far as the one that is
Maybe
bad.
His brother, is it his brother Daryl?
No, Darrell be his dad.
Daryl's his dad, okay. Daryl was one called me.
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't have a problem, I was driving.
I think it's just south of, let's see where we at.
Well, that will be up there. It's in section 19 of Eden.
There's Darrell, yeah, it's this one right here. I think it's in between 70th and 60th.
Could I get a name and phone number for that one so I can verify before we send somebody out?
I told you about this one a couple weeks ago.
I wouldn't recognize it, and I don't have it in our phone book.
You want,
Daryl Eastbold is the one that called me.
I might have Darrell's number. We used to work together, so I'm checking there.
Yeah, the one by Central Disposal there, up in Center Township, the first one I gave.
I think that, okay, is it by the landfill there?
Just the.
I think that one,
Mile west of the landfill, north and south. It's,
That one was
it is
on-
horrible.
Just traffic at the wrong time, you think?
I think Darrell actually lives up in Mankato now.
Yeah, I didn't see him in the book anymore. He's in an old book.
Or no, it said Darren on there, didn't it?
Yeah.
But Darren is Julie Swenson's son-in-law.
Yes.
That's another way to.
Daryl's actually been living at the Habitat campground as far as I know.
Yeah, you know, I assumed it was something like that up there.
It's something.
I think he lives, maybe during the summer, but he lives up there all year round.
That's it? Anything else? Mr. Peterson, K9?
Brian was talking to me the other day, since I came to you guys about 2 weeks ago about this dog. Brian has raised $6,200. And he's got some grants and things like that in, to help pay for the dog. They're having a school in September, and Andy Klein, who's a master trainer, is going to put on this school, and it's going to be a local school. So, in a way of saving money that way, what he's wondering is if and I don't know if this is possible or not, if the county could maybe pay for the dog and then get the grant money to pay back. I don't know how that works. Be a quick loan to the sheriff's office. I don't know how that works.
Well, that money they get in would be passed through anyway, that I suppose we have to have in and out amendment possibility, right? If it goes to the sheriff. I mean,
Either way, we'll probably have to have an amendment because
Right.
there's nothing budgeted out of the Canaan Fund.
Right.
That is correct. I think I put in a little over 5 last week, and then we've got another $800 to $1,000 this week. So I don't know how that works, but what he's wanting to do is go to the school in September. Andy has dogs that he's got for sale. He's got one out there that Brian has bonded with. They've been, working, doing preliminary stuff with it right now, and so he's just wondering, because a lot of these, like the casino and the Hansons and the banks and stuff like that, they only meet quarterly, so it won't be until after September when the school starts that he would find out if he got loans or grants or not.
That sounds to me like operations even, so could you just borrow to them out of your fund?
Well, I can. I don't know if the county's in a position to borrow that money, and then if it's income, does it come back into my fund or does it go to the general fund?
Why don't we just talk about it
Okay. That's fine.
after the meeting?
Yep,
And
okay.
we'll figure out how to make it work.
Okay, sounds good. I just had to bring it up, so thank you.
Sounds like an audit for that.
Okay.
That should work.
Step back a second here, those just.
Yes.
I just want to tell you that Wally did not come to me. I was out there trying to find that intake so I could look down it to see how the tile was flowing for somebody complaining up the line. So I just want you to know that he didn't seek me out.
Okay.
He wasn't mad at you or anything.
Okay.
Yes. That's all I had. He was out trying to replant that drown-out area. He said he didn't know why, but he was doing it.
Yeah. Keep the weeds down.
Prevent plant doing it.
Okay, discuss with possible action the intent to join the Northwest Iowa Care Connections Committee.
No, it's, they want us to draft a letter of intent. And then once they receive the letter of intent, we had a meeting with them last Wednesday. And,
When you say it was.
Ron Swears, Ken Abrams, Donna Nielsen from, Roger, had a prior engagement. He couldn't be there for Roger Josh, but I believe that if they haven't, they may have already submitted the letter of intent.
So it'd be
And,
Kasuth, Hancock, one by one, or
yes. But their concern over there, which is a concern that I told them, I said, if you guys, I can fully understand. I mean, they're afraid they're gonna get too big. There's 6 counties now, 6 small population counties. I think the biggest town in there would probably be Spencer. And, they're, so I don't know whether they would want Sarah Gorder or not if they decided to go with us too. They're afraid they're gonna get too big. And they chose to lower their levy. Their levy is $10 per capita right now. And that's how they spent down their fund balance instead of going on a spending spree. And,
they would try to work within their means.
yes, and they do a very good job. And they figure that their levy is gonna go up to around 30 once they're done with that, which is still $5 less than what we're doing, and then all the fund balance on top of it. And, I told them, this is what we would really like to do is create our own region, but the legislature has not allowed that yet. And I said, in order to get that done, we have to, you know, and they don't want Emmett back. They,
Yeah.
but like you said, if they've got a previous relationship, maybe they can continue with
See,
CSS, which is the way it should be.
The new rules say if you're gonna form a new region, they took away that ability to have a previous relationship. But if we're changing regions, I believe Emmett can stay with this current region and not have to go that.
And that's the way it should be. They should not be negatively affected by what decisions we make.
Because the rules that were implemented by the legislature this year were just temporary for this year, then they pretty much go away.
Is Sandy more people?
The people over there. She knows some of them, yes. It's Donna has worked with them more, Donna from Kasuth specifically.
What's her thoughts?
And then they had another Kasuth supervisor there. I can't see her name, is it Pam? Pam, yeah. And it's a lot easier route than trying to.
Who would be the provider then?
Oh, we may use the same providers.
Oh, okay.
We don't. The only reason I can see that the real reason that we would want to be in a larger region is if you have a real expensive client, like the one that's costing us $600 a day, used to be $1,000 a day. When it was $1,000 a day, that client alone used up almost all of Winnebago's contribution to CSS. So the bigger, you got that shock absorber effect. And other than that, Sandy knows how to get help for everybody. We don't need a region. They need us to take 100,000 people and the city of 24,000. So to make sure that, but to me, get as many rural dollars in urban areas as possible.
City 24, that would be Mason City.
Yeah, no, but even with Cerro Gordo, we can't reach the 100,000 threshold. We're only 87,000.
Well, what are they gonna do? Get rid of us?
What's that?
If we did join, it'll be 87,000 if we go west.
No, that doesn't matter. Those rules don't apply to moving to a new region.
Yeah,
Forming
no,
a new region.
Kasuth alone could go to that region, but we just as soon do something different. We're on the same page as enough people to outvote us, so.
I still think we should file suit with the state and get it cleared up. It's not gonna cost us anything. Just time.
Suit as far as,
Let us go back to when
make our own region.
we're.
WHW?
WHW. That would be the best scenario for all because as long as you're with like counties as far as population, demographics, however you want to say it, I don't think it would hurt, because then, if we take us forward, we'd be a 10-county region. Then 6 before, but yeah, it'd be 10-county region. It would create more of a shock absorber effect.
Well, I agree with you,
but
if it doesn't work,
we can.
Then we can address it.
There's only one person in the state or one person in the whole 22-county region that is that expensive as far as. It's an easier route than the region, which I don't see how anybody can force anyone to have relationships with people they don't want to. And it's about local control, and to make your point, but the easier route is that. The other route is one that I would rather see happen in a sense, because we needed to get it out there where.
at least we'll get out the public eye then.
Yeah. Get it, out in the open as far as, you know, and whether we need a.
But for now, you're saying this is the best route to go.
It's the easiest route to get out, you know, because I don't think we're gonna get it done quick enough, because it's a one-time option to create your own region, and I don't think we can get it done quick enough. So if we want out, we gotta go this route. And the people over there were very welcoming. I mean, they had their concerns. You know, there were a couple were concerned more than others, it seemed like. But and after looking at their strategic plan over there a little bit, how they're doing it the way it should be done. So I can't say that it would be any better than having our own region, other than the fact that we would just have to deal with ourselves, who we're all used to dealing with. We wouldn't have to travel quite as far and stuff.
You want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion to draft and submit a letter of intent to the Northwest Iowa Care Connections Mental Health Region.
I'll second that. Motion by Bill, seconded by myself to submit a letter of intent to join the Northwest Iowa Care Connections Mental Health Region. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Once we get it written up or whatever, is that something we need to approve again? You guys want to look at it, or?
Who's writing it up?
That's what Sandy got.
I don't know what we would add to her expertise.
It's, she's,
Just inform her to submit it.
yeah.
And then I suppose it'd just be like our normal process, we approved it here, but it comes before the board just for a signature.
And this is just so they can have something official, so they know that we really mean what we're gonna do, so they can look at it, and then they may tell us no.
Yeah.
And they may not.
So we can have it on our next agenda or whenever agenda to approve the document as written.
Do you want that on next week, or you wanna just tell me?
Don't we want to get the letter done?
Yeah.
This isn't time sensitive.
Well, they've got a meeting next week, but, I don't think Hancock's is gonna have their done before then. I mean, I don't think there's
So we can notify them that we approve moving forward.
yeah.
We approved submitting a letter, so. And like I said, there's not one thing I think I could add to what Sandy would write up.
No,
She's gonna write up.
it's just gonna be a letter requesting to be in there. There's not gonna be any.
We'll let her write up, sign it, and send it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we have to approve.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
Do we have a copy of their 2080, how they were doing?
They were gonna send that out, but, you know, I have not received that.
Maybe we should get a copy of that.
Yeah, it was gonna compare 180s. I believe Donna said she looked at it and she has a copy already, and she.
Would that be boilerplate with the counties?
I think that might be something that's, you know, the state has made
Yeah.
this is what it is.
It'd just be nice to have that before we actually get to the point of acceptance. And
Yeah,
stuff.
well, make sure there's not a clause in there, 2080, that's way different than ours.
Being new members,
Yeah.
we have to pay
And,
more than
yeah,
everybody
any
else.
new members have to pay extra, yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Initiation.
And the way they run things over there, I don't think there's gonna be any issues.
Okay. Waste management contract.
Well, what do you wanna do with this?
Did they send something else? Did they send a one-year contract back, or is it still the one?
As far as I see it, they still have just,
Okay, so Chris talked to him, I know.
okay,
So I told her to contact them and tell them we want to do a one-year contract at the entry-level number they had quoted us.
okay,
And I guess their response was, that's fine, but realize costs are gonna go up. But I think it's beneficial to us to take a year to figure out what we wanna do. And this would keep us going with the current process, if we would've kept going on a continuing contract like we had, it'd be another $10,000 higher. So this was my attempt to get our lower price for a year and then would we just alter that contract and send it back to them? Sign it, approve that contract with only 1 year in it?
Well, this really is just a letter, it's not really even a contract, so I think we just need to tell them what we want and say,
And that's kind of what she did over the phone, but if we do it officially from here, that we would like to enter into a 1-year contract at that amount of money.
$33,720.
Right. Because this last year was over 40,000, wasn't it?
It's like 42,800.
Yeah, so we're saving 9,000.
They cut a bunch of stops off.
That's right.
Yeah.
They really didn't have all this stuff.
Right.
I guess I could make a motion to offer a contract to Waste Management, and what was the amount?
$33,720.
Offer a contract to Waste Management for recycling for $33,720 for 1 year.
I'll second it.
Terry, second by Bill to approve a contract, offer a contract to Waste Management for $33,720.
For 1 year.
Yep. For recycling. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Chris here? Okay.
Refresh my memory. We don't have to get an engineer involved. Jerry Rubin has called, and up on Marvin Prescott's north of Lake Mills, there's a main, 12-inch main that needs to be improved. He's given a price of $20,000 or less, which in my opinion is very reasonable.
If it's an improvement, doesn't matter, you have to have
You have to have an engineer that's improved to create it.
And you have to do wetland determinations at the NCS.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, Sue Smith has been talking with Chris on this. I didn't even know about it till this morning. We need to get that going there. Because there's only about 8 inches of cover on the main by the ditch.
You know what ditch it is?
It's in 92.
Section 92?
Oh, this is 92.
Oh, just 92. That's fine. I think there's cover the file.
Hey, Mike, do I have you stop down before you take out today?
Yeah.
Real quick? Thanks.
And it looks to me like it's subdivision 1 and
Yeah, separate.
that 12-inch main. All right, as long as we get that going.
Okay.
All right, consider approval.
No, I got more drainage.
What do you do?
D11, we were talking about reclassification, and it's in the process. The engineer's working on it. I think we have a meeting on the 24th on this. Well, we also have an improvement going on where we're going to extend the ditch farther on and improve the tile going on. That's all in the works. When we clean DD11 ditch, the outlet of DD11 ditch goes into a non-district area for about a mile and a half or a mile or whatever it is. And that ends up going through that bridge by Leland we just put in, or not bridge, the culvert where we put in to replace a bridge last year. Sounds like I've got support from the Ambersons, or at least a couple of the Ambersons that own that property. They in the past have cleaned that ditch themselves. So they're interested in going into the district. And I talked to the engineer, and he said the best way to probably do it is maybe either make it part of DD 11 and possibly make a lower main of DD 11. And then that way you also have DD 10, which is a private trustee district that dumps into this at about the same point. So you would create a lower main that would have outlet fees for both the districts to dump into there, and then the annex part of it would also pay into this, but it'd be a lot less they'd have to pay to clean.
Okay.
Jim Emerson said that 20 years ago, he said they cleaned it, but judging by the size of the trees, I think it's been 30 years. So, Rick said we can discuss it at the 24th meeting.
Okay.
But it sounds like just about everybody's on board. I haven't talked to the trustees of the private trustee district yet. I was going to talk to Gerald on that.
What's he said?
You know what DD 11 is?
It said we knew in section 29.
Oh, I've got it right. This is my old map that you see where Leland is? No, you're it's on the other side. Probably have to open it up. So there's Leland. You're at the pole. So there's DD 11, here's DD 10, that's the private trustee district. So this district's bigger, they'll be paying more to dump into them. So they both come, this is the part we're talking about, from, where's the road? Coming into Leland. I suppose it'd be right here. Oh no, here. Maybe that's the bridge. So it'd be from here to here, we can create a district. Part of the 11 district. Since we have more control of 11, it'd be easier to put it as part of 11, and then we can do an involuntary fee to the other district to pay into it too. My guess is...
You're saying annexing some of that?
Yeah, from the bridge up to where we're dumping in. Because it's all trees right now, it's overgrown.
Will they let us do that? Who? This, Army Corps of Engineers?
But it's not, that's just, it can be cleaned as part of the ditch. It just never was part of the district.
I mean annexing it.
Yeah, it's not the river.
No, but it's watershed, I'm assuming it's watershed. I don't know.
I don't know, I didn't have my new map, so she's got it identified differently on the map. We're going to look at change that.
Should be French, the whole thing.
But, you know, that used to be swamp there in the Amberson property until the dredge ditch got dug, and now it's a flow. So I would say we should be able to annex it without problem. And that's up to the engineer.
Okay. So that's in the works.
The engineer's going to look at that, determine how it needs to be. He said it wouldn't be much to reclassify that to a bound, because we've already gone through the rest of the classification and create and figure out by acres how much the DD 11 and DD 10 would pay. So he can figure that out. If you're okay with me just telling you to look at that. Near the
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I can't find it. Why is it when you're looking through a bunch of emails for the one, it seems like you can always miss the one that you want, but you see every other one?
We call that Murphy's Law.
Yeah, I know.
Daily basis.
Yeah, I'll find it later. Okay, it's not something that needs to be talked about right now.
You're on that setting, so it's finding everything but I want to.
Yeah, evidently my eyes are on that setting.
I ended up on my phone, there's focus ones and
They need to see it too, I suppose.
It's a focus group and then
Others.
everything else.
Yeah. So Chris Ford sent it to me as an email, and I didn't see it on either one of my email accounts.
That's all what's gonna get levied for this next year, for drainage.
Mhm.
Make a motion when you're ready on that one.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2018 drainage tax levy resolution.
I'll second it.
Motion by Bill, second by Terry, to approve the 2018 drainage tax levy resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Does it need to be stamped? The signatures on it already.
Okay. Bill.
I actually asked Kelsey to look into this, but she's been really busy and hasn't had time to get back to me. So basically what I know is in those papers that I gave you this morning, so.
What I read in there, they said that,
Go back to 2014.
the notice of the class information will be mailed in June. Okay, that's just whether you actually had any, you'd have to figure out whether you actually had any coming back.
Well, and Julie Swenson got a letter. So that's,
Oh, she got a letter.
Julie got a letter.
Did it have any kind of a amount on it, or
I don't know,
is it just,
There's a letter from the class action.
I'm not sure.
court also certified the
I've
lawsuit as
been
a class
gone enough
action?
that I haven't had time to really dig into it, but
Okay, we should call her.
The letter of the official notice of the formation of a class be sent to each underpaid, so if we got a letter, we were underpaid, the way I read that. So,
Well, that's pretty much a no-brainer from what I read.
Hi, Julie, this is Terry, the supervisor.
Yeah, and
Do you have that letter about the class action lawsuit or the PILT underfunds? You didn't get a letter? You never got a letter on that? Okay. Yeah, we were trying to figure out what would,
pull up that website,
if you have time to come down. Okay, thanks.
but it's bottom of the gray area. The gray box. As long as we don't have any upfront fees.
yeah, no, it's, I mean, if you got $1.98 coming back, then, if it's,
We're not huge monies like some counties.
Yeah.
Out west,
yeah,
Utah, that's a lot of money. Arizona probably.
Yeah, I read the article, a couple out there, Maricopa, Apache.
Was it you telling me that Arizona only has 6 counties?
Yeah.
they're big.
Well, for example, Apache County is the size of Rhode Island twice. And the county that I came from, same thing. You could actually put almost the state of Vermont inside of it. The college I came from was one of the largest colleges in the United States, only because we had 10 campuses and they were scattered all over the county. So if you had to go to the district office, it was a 120-mile trip from my campus for whatever reason.
The reason they call all that out there big sky country,
Kinda, yeah.
there's nothing to block the sun.
Hey, if we could find Pluto out there, for God's sakes, it's pretty big, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, you don't wanna get on the back roads of Arizona without having your fuel tanks full.
Well, a couple of years ago when Jan shut down all the rest stops, that was hilarious. Because, you know, all the state rest stops were closed because of tax purposes. The state was out of money. So gas stations were at a premium out there. You stopped at many of these Mavericks that they had along the way. And it was great for business for them, terrible for the travelers.
So you didn't get a letter on the PILT underfunding?
No, was I supposed to?
Carla,
I never get any information, I have to
You
call
brought
you.
something down to me.
I had the Fish and Wildlife that we were trying to figure out. That money,
Is that just the PILT request, or?
I don't get anything from that. I usually have to call Carla to find out what you guys decided and
Well, according to this article, for several years it was underfunded.
because I think you guys just passed.
I don't see a list.
And there's a class action lawsuit going on to get those monies back. We're trying to figure out, should we just go into it? We need to figure out, is it worth it? If it's only gonna be a few dollars, it's not worth it, but if it's quite a bit of money.
It's worth it, yeah. Where did you get this out of?
NACO, wasn't it?
The mail.
Is that something you could pull up? What our payments are?
What do we get for PILT?
I don't,
We only have 2-3 parcels that are federal Fish and Wildlife, federal dollars.
yeah, we have, okay, so, the Fish and Wildlife money that I get, that's in lieu of taxes.
Right.
So that went to 4 different places, Center, Logan, Eden, and Norway. In this county, we have always taken the acres between those 4 districts and divided it by the money that we got. That money then went into just those districts only. And I believe when Chris talked to you guys about that, she said, well, because I went...
She said it was worth it. I remember that now.
Well,
Worth the fund.
well, with the Fish and Wildlife dollars, we had to, they never want to pay all of their drainage. So when I was down at my treasurer's meeting, other counties were having problems with them paying their drainage too, and they had to abate them. And so one of the counties said, well, we take the Fish and Wildlife money, we don't put it and use it for Fish and Wildlife, we put it towards their drainage in those districts.
We do that too, don't we?
We were giving the money just back into the district, into the acres.
The drainage district.
Well, but they didn't pay all of it. So we had to abate, remember we had to come down and abate?
Yeah.
So then Chris just, instead of having to abate it every year, she just took them off the books. Because then we'd have to apply that drainage money that didn't get paid to individual people. So now, instead of doing it the way Winnebago County and many other counties did it before, instead of just dividing it up in those 4 districts, I'm not sure how she's applying it to the... She should apply it only to the drains in those 4 districts, I feel. But I don't get anything.
Correct, I think that's what we do.
We've always done it that way in Winnebago County, and I think we got like $4,900.
No,
Because there's no, we're not listed.
Yeah, because we haven't joined yet. Those are probably ones that joined us. No?
It's only gives,
Gives a list of the people that are owed.
there's about 20 that are in it, and
That's at that website.
Yeah, I don't ever see anything from this health until you guys make a decision on whether you're gonna accept it or not, and then I have to get from Carla,
that's pilot,
our pilot,
that's different.
So it is.
because this is what they're talking about here.
So,
Even in
Never mind.
taxes, what's covered?
Payment in
Same
lieu
thing.
of taxes.
There's not putting,
That's
Phil's
what-
and pilot are the same.
Mhm.
but it's two different programs.
Oh, yeah?
Well, maybe we should get a little NACO.
Well, I think we need to be explained.
I wanted Kelsey to look into it, but she hasn't had time, so.
Is there a time frame? Does it say in the website? Or we gotta?
Counties will have till mid-September. So,
Okay. Chelsea, look into it.
Okay. Can I take a copy of this and then bring it back? Or do don't you need it?
I don't need it.
Okay. Yeah. So that's all. I guess I don't know. Can't help you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
All right, we'll table this until Chelsea gets back to us. Chelsea?
Kelsey. Chelsea's in the auditor's office.
Kelsey's the.
I thought you were saying Chelsea.
No, Kelsey.
Oh. Okay.
Chelsea's
report, sir.
Fussy about that.
Right here.
What are you guys doing to keep her so busy?
What's that?
Keeping Kelsey so busy, what are you guys doing?
Oh, God, we just had knuckleheads.
On the other ones.
What was yesterday? Why were all the Hancock County and Garner and Forest City and was there a trial?
Out here.
No, it wasn't a trial. They said there was something over at Waldwood.
Oh,
Something
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know what time it was. Yeah, I think they.
3 o'clock in the morning? Okay, good. Now we know what's happened. Thank you.
They said they had a possible break-in or something like that.
There were people going up and down where I live, close to Waldorf, and they were pounding on walls and garage doors. And across the way, Maya, her German Shepherd, Bear, literally came through the glass. He totally forgot that thing was there. And then my dogs flew off the bed, and they were trying to find out who the hell it was that was pounding on garage doors. But somebody was out there smacking on doors and everything else like that. You guys had your lights on at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was just getting to sleep, and the next thing I know, I see a floodlight going right across my bedroom window.
And they had a report of somebody broke into, I don't know what hall it was over here, but Waldwood.
What's the world coming to?
Gee whiz, that's where my daughter's gonna go to college. She spent all day Friday there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, she thought I had to come to the orientation thing or whatever it was.
I'll make a motion to approve the sheriff's quarterly report.
I'll second it.
Terry, second by William. To approve the sheriff's quarterly report, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Open forum.
These are all your manure management things. You want to stamp that manure management thing? Not the manure management,
No.
sheriff's thing?
Just called back.
Just wanted to pass that out.
Okay, but it just, is it knowledge about the canine thing, or should I hold off on it? What do you want to do?
I think it's probably valid. Anybody just asked us information.
So,
we're out soliciting applying for grants. So if anybody wants to donate, they can certainly send money. But it'll be a second round. It's gonna be training now. Drug test, tracking, for your officers. Here is, we had a couple more years on it, but, you know, it's not a replacement for your also, we just want to have a second, just 5 seconds. Yeah.
especially with the number of drug tests we've been doing as of late, you know.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. Okay, all right. That's what I wanted to know.
Okay. Yeah, I apologize.
13:26, got it.
9:30 though, so.
You should have seen me. Like I said, I went to bed. I was working at the station Sunday night till close to about midnight. And then I finally got home, spotlights on. Like, what'd I do? I didn't break into the station.
I do have something for open forum. Excuse me, guys. Is open forum still?
Yes.
Okay. We can't, we're looking for part-time people out there at the sheriff's office to work in the jail. And nobody wants to work, quite honestly. We put ads in the paper and nobody applies for it and stuff like that. We do have some relatives of officers that are interested, and there is a nepotism clause in the county handbook that it says you guys can override that if the applicant is qualified and yada, yada, yada. And I'm just wondering where that stands.
That's a question for Mike Galloway, and we can also talk about that after the meeting.
Okay, but the handbook says it's up to the supervisors, it's not up to Mike. I'm not trying to be difficult, but that's what the handbook says.
Sure, but it may be.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. That's fine, yeah.
And then we can tell the supervisors what Mr.
What
Galloway
Mike-
says.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep, I just wanted to, but again, it's open forum and it's not on the agenda, I just wanted to give it food for thought.
I'm gonna guess that it's the same way with trying to get neutral, not neutral, but gender balanced boards.
Yeah.
You try to, but if you can't.
Yeah.
You know.
We got, I mean, people are just, for the sheriff's department, last time we had an opening, I think we had 6 people apply. The police department had 8 or 9 people apply, and it used to be 100 people apply, and nobody's applying anymore.
We just don't have a workforce base to choose from.
Yeah, well, and people have problems with UAs, and we are a little more particular because you can't have criminal histories and things like that. I'm sorry?
What's UA?
Urine test. Drug screening.
So where do they apply?
What's that?
Where do they apply?
At the sheriff's office.
Okay. Police background and all of this stuff, right?
It's all gonna, yeah.
Okay, no problem. I'll take care of that.
These night shifts?
They are whatever shift, it's shift work, so they would be all 3 of the shifts.
You say these are jailers?
Yep, part-time jailers.
More than likely, you're looking preferably for females.
We are looking for,
It's more beneficial for us if they were female.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. So you and Carla can work out then.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
That it?
We couldn't get EMTs to apply, and we put a story out. Next thing you know, you had like 5, 6, 7 applications. So I'll see if we can do the same thing for you.
Yeah, we just, and like I said, it's not just us. It's not just the police department, it's sheriff's departments all over the area. And police departments all over the area. You know, they, just not happening like it used to.
Hey, how much are those dogs? Is it kind? Who's on them?
Andy Klein.
Klein, how much are they?
I can't tell you what the dog cost, it's, you know, as the, because right now, it's about a $20,000.
The cost is in the training.
Yeah, it's all in the training, the purchase of the dog,
German
equipment,
Shepherds.
or Malinois, Belgian Malinois. I'm not sure I'm saying that right either, but yeah. It's a smaller German Shepherd type dog. Very aggressive, very,
We didn't supplant, blah, blah,
You
blah,
don't
blah,
have the
blah.
money just to have one for yourself.
We just review it.
but they're very dedicated dogs.
Yeah.
Fun to walk down the street and see how many people they hit on, huh?
Pardon me?
I walked down the street where I didn't need a dog to know what was going on.
Okay, meeting adjourned.